What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Medicom Toys Mafex Batman The Dark Knight Returns Superman. And so here we have the Dark Knight Returns Superman pose and out of the packaging. Before we have a look at the figure, let's actually run through what he comes with. Superman does come with two different head portraits. We do have the stern neutral head, which he has on him right now. And then we have a battle damaged angry head. He also does come with several sets of hands. We do get a pair of fists, a pair of relaxed hands, a pair of splayed open hands, a pair of flat palmed hands, and then a pair of hands for holding the kryptonite arrow, which that's his final accessory, the kryptonite arrow that he does catch, which gives Batman the edge in their fight. Other than that, Superman doesn't come with anything else. I think an alternate head where he was just angry would have been really nice, but other than that, still a nice bunch of accessories. So with that out of the way, let's move on to his details. So here we have a closer look at the Mafex Dark Knight Returns Superman, and this is a very good looking figure, I'm not going to lie to you. Now, this isn't going to be everybody's cup of tea. The Frank Miller artwork is a little to be desired and not everybody is going to like it, but as far as faithful representation of the comic goes, this is a faithful representation of Superman. I absolutely love it. It is a very, very good likeness to the Dark Knight Returns Superman with the big stoic chin, the really big 80s hair. It just looks very, very good, and I have to say one of the best Dark Knight Returns Superman that I've had the pleasure of messing with. It looks very good. He kind of still has that Jay Leno chin, but that was kind of the artwork that he had. Very, very well done head sculpt, and I'm gonna say this, both heads are done exceptionally well. We do have the battle damage one right here, which looks really nice, and you can see he's grimacing in pain. Overall, really liking the head sculpt. It looks just like it did in the comics with a really big broad chin, square jaw. It's perfect in my honest opinion. And then having a look at the rest of the figure, oh, really big beefy Superman, and that's pretty much how Frank Miller drew his stuff. Big, beefy, larger than life characters, and this Superman is no exception. One thing I do like is that the S is actually a sculpted piece. It's not just tampoed onto the chest, it's a sculpted embossed S, which does have the line work on it if you look closely. So really good work there. Now, one thing I didn't notice is that his pecs are a separate piece from the rest of his torso, and I'm guessing that's where the cape slides into, where the chest piece just pegs on, holding the cape in place. It's a really good look, and you really have to look for that seam line to know that it's there. But yeah, if you're just looking at the figure, it still looks very clean, very solid, and he has this really broad chest about him. I mean, just look at the width of his shoulders. He is very beefy, and that's pretty much how Frank Miller did his comic book. Superman was a beefy character. I really do like the cape. It is this really nice fabric. It's not light, but it's not too heavy, and the wire in it is very thick. I mean, just look at this entire part where you see the stitch work. That's how thick the wire is. It's a very beefy wire, and I don't just love it, I adore it. He does have the S shield on the back of his cape, which unfortunately it does get a little crumpled up in his cape. He has a really wide cape that you can see they did fold over in on itself. So yeah, if you were to extend the cape fully, the S shield would be a little bit cleaner. But overall, just look at how broad his arms are. He is a thick boy. This is the Superman that never misses any days in the gym. He is just buffed up. And like I said, it's not everybody's look. And I know All-Star Superman kind of has this beefy look to him, but this I think was the original beefy Superman, and I absolutely love it. It looks really nice. Really clean application for what little shading is on here. I do believe there is some light shading on here. It could just be a trick of the lighting, but yeah, it does look like there's some shading. It's very minuscule, but it does help bring out details of the figure. Really loving the shade of blue that they went with. It's a really nice Superman light blue. They didn't go too dark, and it's not baby blue like the Christopher Reeve Superman. Really big hands. That's one thing that this Superman also had, was these really chunky hands that he would just punch Batman with. Absolutely love this. And then he does have the really big belt. As you can see, it does have the circle right here. Belt loops look really nice, except they're just in the front. On the back, he doesn't have any belt loops. So was it like that in the comic book? I want to say he had a belt loop in the back, but I might be wrong. And because it is an 80s comic, he does have the Superman trunks, which look really nice here. Legs are just as chunky and beefy as the rest of the figure, and it's perfect in my opinion. It looks like it just jumped right out of the comic book. If the comic book was drawn in HD, I mean, yeah, it's a 20-year-old comic. What do you expect from it? The really big, thick calves, as you can see, they are very massive, and then his knees or his boots do have that Superman dip right here, as well as the edging right here, which looks really good. Red boots, as he should always have. This Superman is very nice to look at, especially if you're a fan of the Frank Miller artwork or just a fan of the Dark Knight Returns in general like I am. This is a very well done figure. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get him compared to other figures you may have in your collection. Here we have the Mafex Dark Knight Returns Superman posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Superman posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have the Mafex Superman posed next to a Lightning Collection White Range and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And so here we have the Mafex Dark Knight Returns Superman posed next to the Mattel Dark Knight Returns Superman and the McFarlane Dark Knight Returns Superman. And for one final comparison, here we do have the Mafex Dark Knight Returns Superman posed next to the Mafex Armored Dark Knight Returns Batman. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to Superman's articulation. He does have a double ball joint in the head, which does let him look up quite a bit. He would look down a little bit further, but you do have to rotate the ball joint. It is on one of those Mafex crook ball joints, so if you have it rotated one way, he gets better articulation. I do have it with better articulation looking up, because he is going to be flying most of the time. He does get some really nice head tilt, so I do like that. Left and right rotation works perfectly fine. He has another ball joint here at the base of his neck, which does allow him to look even further down and further back, which I'm really happy for. I mean, just look at that. That looks really good. He does have a ball joint here in the shoulder, although I think it is one of Mafex's double ball joints. So we have a ball joint going into the butterfly joint, which allows for the butterfly joint to pivot out and in, and then we have another ball joint connecting that shoulder to that butterfly joint, so we get some really good range here, especially going back, going down looking really good, going up looks good. So yeah, working really nicely there. Arms do go all the way around, they go out to the side, all the way horizontal, so he can hit T-poses really good, or he can go even further because of that ball joint. We do have a really nice bicep swivel right here, working really good. Double elbow band here, works really nice. Ball hinge here at the wrist, so it does have in and out, or up and down hinges, so that works really good. He does have a ball joint here in the waist, although I want to say it's a double ball joint. As you can see, he does get some pretty decent range going forward. We can pivot that back and he gets better range going back. So yeah, it's probably a double ball joint. He does have some slight pivot, but it does rotate nicely. I wonder why. It might just be a stiff joint, or it might not get that much range. But he does have another ball joint here at the waist, which does lean back to about that far. He crunches to about right there, which is pretty acceptable for a Superman. Does lean side to side really nicely, so that goes all the way around as well as rotates. Legs are on that drop down hinge, so they do have some drop down, so they go back and forward to about right there. Maybe they go, yeah, they go a little bit further, so that's really good range there. Out to the side, no problem. Superman can do side kicks really well, and then doesn't really go that far back because of his super glutes. He does have swivel here at the thigh, double bend here at the knee, looking really good, really clean as well, really do like it. We don't have any rotation in the boot, but we do have rotation here at the ankle. We do have a hinge which goes back and forward facing pin for rocker, and then we can rotate that to give him a true rocker ankle. And then finally he does have a toe hinge, which is very respectable. Other than that, Superman here is very good. Oh, I forgot to mention, or go over the wireframe in the cape again, it's a really sturdy wire, so you can get some really good poses out of it. So overall, this Superman has some really good articulation and looks very good, very menacing, very imposing. I don't know what more to say about this Superman, so with that out of the way, let's actually go on to my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the Mafex Dark Knight Returns Superman pose for my final thoughts, and overall this is a very, very well done Superman figure. If it wasn't just for my Dark Knight Returns bias, this would still be a very solid figure. Now, I know that this look of Superman isn't everybody's cup of tea. I know a lot of people don't like the really beefy, chunky Frank Miller artwork style. That's perfectly okay, but as a figure itself, this is still an impressive figure to look at. The joints work phenomenally. I haven't encountered a stiff joint that I felt this figure was going to break, and overall, I can't recommend this figure enough. If you're a Superman fan, this is a very well done Superman figure, and Mafex, I keep saying this, gets better and better with every figure they make, and this is no exception. Although I do feel like this Superman could have used an extra head, maybe one where he was just gritting his teeth and angry without the battle damage. That would have been really nice. Or even if he came with an accessory for Batman, like he does crush the chest plate in the comic book, that would have been a nice accessory for him to have. But overall, this is a solid figure, and I really, really do recommend picking up this Superman. If you're a Superman fan and want all the Superman memorabilia, or if you're like myself and you're a fan of the Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns, this is a must-have figure. He looks phenomenal, and I really do like the overall design of him. Now, if you are looking for this Superman figure, at the time I'm making this video, he is available on Hobby Link Japan, and that is where I picked mine up for $68. It did convert to about $68, so getting him shipped was about $94, which that is pretty good, seeing so most Mafex figures nowadays are going to run you about $100, either getting it shipped from overseas or just domestically. $94 for this Superman, I'm perfectly okay with. That is a solid price for him. But if this Superman is in your wheelhouse and you really do like the design, definitely pick him up. He is worth the price of admission. So with that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other Mafex videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified anytime I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.